Hi again. We'll go over another way agile modeling tool we use to get more into the algorithm. We talked about the use case. We took a user activity or a user goal, broke it into sequences using the system sequence diagram, and you see that that's how modeling help us as a team to think together and go into details before we start writing code. Uh, Kind of reach that common understanding, and you would hear that common understanding, common shared understanding. It's kind of the goal. uh, Again, modeling is not for documentation, it's for the conversation and helping us communicate. After the system sequence diagram, we take one system operation. So each step is like a system operation in that system sequence diagram. We take one of those and we start breaking it down, like the flow chart when we used to do flow chart before we start writing code. Uh, if it's something simple, you're coding by yourself, you just jump in the code and do it. If you're a team, things will be big. It's worth it to spend some time to flow chart that system operation. Not every system operation, some of them. And so you pick your when and what tool to use. Again, we're doing this to share some notations and show how the tool can be helpful in some situations. And you have it in your toolbox and you use it whenever needed, whenever it helps you. For the activities, again, this looks like a flow chart. It has some notations. I'll try to color code a little bit. So this is the start, and this is the end. Again, UML notation, but just the minimal set we need for the purpose here. When we did the system sequence diagram, there was a confirm withdrawal as a step, and we'll try to take this and create the flow for it, the flow chart or the activity diagram. And it gets confusing when we say use case analysis or user activity diagram, or I call it user goal to avoid the confusion with that activity or steps. So you start with this, and okay, I'm confirming it. Do I have enough funds? And give it a title. So I'm doing this for confirm get cash. And these are the parameters that you can get from the system sequence diagram. Enough funds, not enough funds. It will be, and in this level, you either decide to start putting some error handling or not. So you can choose, we will do error handling if something break, but in this scenario, you need to report back something, send a message. So I think it's worth to put it here. That will be report error. And this will go to the end. The other way, you write it or not, enough fund, and you'll do like execute, just so we have more space, because we need a little bit of space here. Let's do this. It will be execute transaction. Go. Now we take this and break it down, and this is a notation we do, like a fork or something here, indicating that this will be broken down into a different one. And I'll come here and do and this is execute transactions, and again, to have its own start, I'm just breaking this down to here. let's say I update balance, and this would have fit. So squares here means data, entities. In the domain, when we started using, we did the domain to build that vocabulary, the language that we'll use when to describe the system. Mostly these are entities that shows up here. After you update the balance, maybe you log the transaction, and I assume there will be a transaction sort of data, and this came up in our domain as well. And you do, maybe you report something here or not. Generate a receipt. Or you decide that receipt will be generated later when the user ask for it. And you decide at the time, is this an email or not? So this is kind of the discussion or the variation that will happen here. So I decide not to do this because it's a different or not. And again, this is a team decision. So now we know that this is end, and we know that we took this and we broke it down to this. So instead of this mushroom, big, complicated flowchart, we take that. We can take that error and fork it as well. So what do I have in mind for reporting an error? So this was when we do this, we did the simple and we broke it down as we go. Similar to when you do programming, it's a big function calling subroutines, and you move on to do this. We're just doing this as a team, and this is a tool that helps us reach that granularity of a design. Make sure that we're thinking in the same way, heading in the same direction. So let's say I want to break this down. Just do a space here. So you notice that usually actions go north to south in order. When we start communicating with data, we go sideways, left to right. So this is actions, north to south, data, left to right, or horizontally. This is again just a notation to make, and we're almost done with the notations. Really, it's just that simple. If you've done flowcharts when you started programming, this is it. We just do it as a team. It's not a documentation. It's not a design. This is not gonna, this is not our design. We're handling it. It's a tool to get us to discuss this. So we take report error, and this is a fork, so we know it comes from here, and this can be in a different paper, and you would do the maybe log error. Again, it has a start, you have log error, and then maybe create generate message, and again I abstracted these details into one box here, and mentally we started breaking things down as we go. That's it for the algorithm activity diagram. It's basically the flowchart we used to do when you first learn programming, with a little bit of notation. We use it here not to detail the design, not to document. We use it to help us discuss and bring us our ideas and discuss how we're going to break it down. Something like what we did here is generating the receipt part of this flow or not. And all this was one system sequence diagram, system operation in the system sequence diagram. In the system sequence diagram, we end up with system operations, interactions, which is a breakdown of a user goal. So a user goal We break it down into system operations, a system operation. Each one, we take it down and design this. Not each one, the one that's worth it. Maybe the login will not. Maybe you would need to do it. Again, this is a team decision. We use the tool when we need to. This is just to have it in your handy and to use it. That's it for the activity diagram. Hope that was helpful. Please provide feedback. I keep the videos raw. That's intentional. This is how it feels when you do it with the team. You do that, and I'm trying to give you that natural feeling. Maybe we'll do a fancy version later. Maybe not. Hope you that was worth your time, and we'll see you later. Bye.